What's good with y'all boys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is a very special one. I just got done recording They Didn't Have Talent video, but we're back with another one. And I thought of giving you two for y'all today. Today's video, we just reacted to how Pixel Gun 3D lost 98% of its players. Pixel Gun 3D was a good ass video game, bro. Like, it was a good freaking, like, it was like the new Minecraft, basically, bro. Like, people took a break of Minecraft and it just said, like, let's hop on Pixel Gun 3D. You know what I mean? This was like near Fortnite. You know what I mean? This was near Fortnite. And now, you know, it's not getting as much as a relevancy now. It all started to decrease like after 2019 because a lot of beats still, some people were on it and stuff. I was on it trying to get that ice gun and stuff and trying to get that cookie machine, you know what I mean? I think his name was The Cookies or It's Cookies or something like that, and he played Pixel Gun 3D, and I used to watch all his videos. His content was good and stuff. I used to be eating cookies when I was watching them and stuff. But yeah, this was a pretty good game, bro. It was a vibing game, bro. I like that one map. Bro. I wish I could play the song. I might play at the end of this video if I have time. But let's jump into this video, bro. Let's see what they're talking about. Hopefully y'all enjoy this video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, pull up to that Instagram. If I'm gone from YouTube for a while, make sure you tap into that Discord for more feature videos like this. Let's get to it.
Over the last 10 years, Pixel Gun 3D went from a beloved childhood game to one of the most hated games of all.
Skylands. Bro, that song is so good. Skylands, that song. Bro, oh my gosh. You can't tell me the Skylands song from Pixel Gun 3D is the best song ever. But that song was good, bro. The Skylands song, golden. If you listen to that and if you think of you playing Pixel Gun 3D, you'll think, damn, bro, I was really in that moment. That was the last of it too.
Wow. Dropping from an impressive 500,000 daily player count to sometimes not even being able to reach 1,000 players recently. So where did it all go wrong? Well, to understand that, we need to go back to 2013. At the time, games like Counter-Strike and the shooter genre in general was starting to blow up.
CSGO was out back in 2013. I didn't even know that was out. Let's continue.
Accessible on PC and had an older audience. Now with that, Alex Krasnov saw an opportunity. He saw that the whole concept was working on PC and there were no other games like that on mobile, meaning there was a clear market gap. What other games were blowing up at that time? That's right, Minecraft. So high on some shrooms, probably. He thought, let's just combine the two. So combining Minecraft, CSGO, some random shit and adding a storyline to the whole thing, we got Pixel Gun 3D. In theory, the perfect game. Yeah, it completely flopped. Not even reaching 1,000 players his first month. The game was repetitive and had no replay value. But here is where things started to take a turn. You see, over the next couple of months, the game would see very little growth. The game was clearly missing something, and Alex needed to come up with...
So it was straightly just like one of those Chromebook games or fake Minecraft shooter games.
Something fast. Over the next coming updates, he added new guns, items, and other shiny objects. But one update stood out from the rest. Update 1.2. Apart from featuring more unnecessary junk, it had a single feature that would change the game forever. Multiplayer. With this update, you were now able to play with other people, including your friends in the FFA game mode. The point of the mode was simple. You were thrown into a free-for-all arena with about 10 other players, and the person who got the most amount of kills won the game. Nothing too crazy, right? But this is exactly what the game was missing. It introduced a competitive aspect, meaning you now had an actual reason to grind the game. Also promoting the growth of communities.
Oh yeah, it should be on Nintendo. I'm not gonna lie, man. It should be on Nintendo, but you know, it's a good thing and it's a good like vibe on like how it's like on mobile and stuff.
And for later.
It's good that they kept it on there.
The game immediately skyrocketed in popularity, going from a couple of hundred players per day to over 10,000. This is probably around the time you were introduced to the game, where maps like Heavenly Garden and Pool Party were
Oh
first
yeah,
added.
man.
Over the next coming months, the game would continue growing exponentially, and with that, the developers added more updates to support the exponentially growing player base. Update 0.89, introducing the new Capture the Flag game mode. 2 teams competing against each other, with each team assigned their own side with a flag, and point of the game was to bring the enemy's team flag onto your own territory. Update 0.92, adding the Hunger Games game mode, which was already a popular thing back then. 10 players thrown onto a map with loot chests all scattered around, and the last man standing won. And these are all things that became iconic staples of the game. The updates
I didn't even know what Hunger Games was too. I still don't even know what that. Like y'all would need to show me some pictures to recognize something, because every time someone says like a name or something like that, Squid Game in a couple of years. Like if I haven't watched that in a while, then I'm gonna forget what I'm gonna forget what that even is.
actual meaning and purpose, making the game genuinely better and fixing real problems. But behind the scenes, things were starting to bubble. With the new active player base, Alex saw an opportunity to make money. You see, previously, similar to other games, you were only able to buy cosmetic items for real money, which didn't affect the gameplay. But with this update, he added the option to purchase coins, for which you could purchase in-game items, going from the everyone had an equal chance of victory to now adding the possibility to buy yourself to the top without any more skill. But this was only a slight annoyance to the player base, since the items you could purchase weren't even that hard to get without paying. So the game continued to grow, and now content creators started to pick it up as well. The game was fun, replayable.
Yeah, exactly, because the grind was so like good. Like every time you would play, you would unlock a map. Every time you would play, you would unlock a gun, a free gun, or you would spin a wheel and unlock a gun that way, or armor, or a skin. And every time that you would keep on doing games and stuff, bro, it was a better grind than Fortnite. It was a better grind than Fortnite. I'm sorry to tell you, but it was a better grind than Fortnite. Like you can't tell me like you go in chests and try getting guns and stuff, and try like praying that, oh my gosh, I have to get this scar or whatever gun that's on Fortnite right now. But you can just literally upgrade it. And in a Call of Duty, you need to pay to have a gun, or to have a good gun, to have an OP gun. Like, bro, in this game, you can literally just play games and upgrade the gun that way. You know what I mean? You can earn coins and try to upgrade the gun, or see what gun that you want that way. And bro, you know you're gonna earn that gun. Cause the whole game didn't update until like the after 2 months or something like that, bro. Like this game was just easy to play.
Popular, making it literally
They knew what they were doing, bro.
Perfect to make videos on.
Like,
Creators like Exotic Gaming and Esoteric Inc. were the first to pick up on this. And now, with videos being made about Pixel Gun, it took the game to a whole nother level. At that time as well, Update 6.0 was released. The community aspect of Pixel Gun was one of the biggest reasons for the game's success. So they added clans, which was very well received, and new clans quickly started forming, further amplifying the competitive aspect of Pixel Gun, making the community even more dedicated. The game had now surpassed its newcomer status, having over 50 million players and being a titan in mobile gaming. The game had a core player base, community and dedicated fans, large content creators making videos about the game, and an established developer team. The game was on top of the world. It showed no signs of slowing down. But from this point on, things would start to take a weird turn. A couple of months go by and the game is still rapidly growing. And you would think the game's features would do the same, but there were barely any significant updates made, except the addition of more OP weapons, which we'll get into in a bit. The game got stagnant. Meanwhile, the player base was still growing, and understandably so, the more experienced players were starting to get bored. But forget the players, there was a way bigger issue at stake. Pixel Gun content creators
was kind of getting bored, bro. I forgot I even had this game in my tablet. You know, I had an Amazon tablet back then, so I had Pixel Gun 3D, and then I had Minecraft, I think, and then Roblox I had one day on my Amazon phone, and it was an Amazon phone. Next, I had an iPhone. I had a moto phone. I had an Amazon phone first as my first phone, and then I actually got an Android phone for what, it was like 7th grade, I think. That was a long time ago. Damn, time be going by.
Relying on the constant supply of new content in the game and things to make videos about. But without that, there were a lot less videos being made about the game, so the developers had to come up
But I forgot about I had this because I didn't even have too many games on my tablet. That's tough. That's how tough that is, bro.
something quick to freshen up the game and keep the players engaged. So they decided to follow in their old footsteps. Update 11.0. Now this update added duels, a new game mode. They learned from their mistakes and finally added a new core feature to the game. Good, right? But they didn't account for one thing. You see, in the duels mode, you're placed in a map with one other person, and the point of the game is to kill your opponent. You know the deal. Compared to the similar FFA mode, you're with 10 other players. One person may snipe you from the back, one may have a higher position than you, giving them the upper hand. Point is, there were so many factors determining who won, making players less focused on skill and more so on the gameplay and just having fun. Duels Arena on the other hand, you're placed with one other person. The map is completely the same for both players on each side. The mode has a skill matching system and your focus is 100% on your opponent, a complete 50-50 for both players, making the match completely skill reliant. There was no luck involved, it was purely skill based. This mode introduced a completely new realm to the game. Players all of a sudden became a lot better, and I mean way better. Now the players who weren't willing to grind the game couldn't keep up with the pro players. The skill gap between new players was growing by the day, and that understandably raised the entry level. The developers noticed this as well, and they did something about it, but not in the way you would expect. Remember how I told you earlier that Pixel Gun was notorious for adding new weapons to the game? Well, that's exactly what they did now. In Pixel Gun, you start with a certain amount of coins, which you can buy weapons for. So they thought, alright, why not just...
And that's what most people in the game grind for, because the weapons are very cool and OP, bro. They're OP as hell.
Produce better weapons so new players can buy them and have a chance against
Bro, they
pros.
were OP more than Fortnite guns and Call of Duty guns itself. I swear, bro. Like, this, it was one of those, man.
And that's what they did. They started to add weapons literally at one point every week. This resulted in them earning more money than ever. But it did one thing that would completely destroy the game. First, it did the opposite of what they were intending. Pro players were now buying up these weapons, making them even more OP. And second of all, the weapons that old players had grinded for in previous seasons now became completely useless against the new OP weapons. But why would they care? They were now making more money than ever. And why even waste money developing intuitive updates, genuinely making the game better and more fun, when you can just add more guns and make 10 times more money than an actual update ever would? So that's...
Damn, so that's where they stopped. So they got lazy in the middle of them like thinking that way and stuff. You always got to do more to support your community, because your community came there for a reason. You know what I mean? They added more updates and more like worlds and stuff, more updates and worlds for their community. And first, that's why their community came. You know what I mean? I think they just left because of mainly that, and maybe they weren't updating any maps or weapons or any OP skin or something like that. Like a whole season update. Like the whole community expects you to update like a whole season out of the game. You know what I mean? That's what they were probably there for.
What they did. More guns, more items, pets.
And if they were there for that first, then they're gonna expect for you to do it again and again.
What the fuck this is? More and more
what
things
the hell?
you can spend money on. Items, pets, whatever the fuck this is. More and more things you can spend money on, and so on and so on. And guns that were previously easy to get now took days of grinding, further incentivizing the players to spend money.
I got that
easy
gun.
to get more and more things you can spend money on, and so on and so on. And guns that were...
I got that gun. I got that gun and the ice gun too. I had a whole collection. I forgot. I had a sniper, and it was purple and red. But I had a whole loot, bro. But that Amazon tablet got like, it got shut down, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I accidentally spilled water over it. Like, I accidentally put it in a bag full of water, It's broken now. Like, it's been gone, but bro, I had a whole set, bro.
Were previously easy to get, now took days of grinding, further
There's no way you wouldn't be able to play with me because I was too God. I was too demigod.
incentivizing the players to spend money. This is where everything started going downhill. Players started leaving by the second. Even recently joined players were now leaving after realizing how pay to win the game is. The developers made some attempts at saving the game, like adding skill matching and changing the clan system, and at some point even removing the duels mode altogether, but the damage was already done. And ironically, the changes they made ended up upsetting the player base even more. But after that, nothing more happened. They also tried hopping on some trends like Squid Game and the Battle Royale mode to make a quick buck, further showcasing their greed and lack of care for the community. One more thing to mention as well is that they removed like 70% of the OG maps and items from the game for some reason. And at that point, the game was truly unsavable.
Exactly, man. Like, they can't remove Skylands, man. The Skyland song is always gonna be in my heart. Always. Once the sun goes down, once the sun sets, that Skyland song from Pixel Gun 3D is always gonna be in my heart, in my head. Always.
To present day, and the
even that futuristic city, bro. Like, even that beach, man. Like, remember all of those maps in Pixel Gun 3D, and they just took it away from us, man. Just like that.
With about only a couple of thousand active players per day, consisting of tryhards that grind the game 10 hours a day and spend thousands on it, and 7-year-olds that have way too much time on their hand. The game is hacker infested, and it's just generally a mess. When you open up the game, you get bombarded with about 30 different pop-ups, begging you to spend your parents' retirement fund on some fucking dragon pet. And apart from the developers' greed, I think there was one more thing as well, which made the game completely fall off. The game did not innovate. They tried clinging onto the features that made it successful in the first place, but they didn't realize that innovation is truly why Pixel Gun blew up. It's because Alex dared to take that risk of adding multiplayer, not knowing if it will work or not. So yeah, that's it. Please sub, bye.
Alright, W video, man. Hey, I had to make that video, and I seem like a reactor that reacts to news. But I react to anything on this channel, and I was just thinking about that, bro. I react to anything on this channel that relates to me and relates to what I did or how I experienced it, or how I like it. You know what I mean? I like that video. I think they really need to, see it as, I guess, get all their shit together, because like the moment that they fucked up is when they took all the maps away, and that's just like, bro, like, you made your fan base that mad. You know what I mean? You made your fan base like they're not in that anymore because there's too many hackers, and like it's like you took away the maps, man. You took away the maps. Y'all took away the maps, the OG maps that we played when we were like at least like 9 or 8 years old or 10 years old, man. It's crazy. But I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about them, man. I guess return all the OG stuff that y'all took away. I don't know. It was fun while it lasted. That's all I can say. Everything is fun while it lasted. Fortnite was fun while it lasted. They're not doing anything wrong. SpongeBob was fun while it lasted, and they're not even doing anything wrong. So people have something to say regardless. Or something to do regardless. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, man. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Make sure y'all go follow me on my Instagram. Pull up to that Instagram for more updates on where I'm at. If I'm going from YouTube, tap into that Discord for more future videos like this. And I'm out. I'm gone. Peace.